Right, Martin, we've just come through a checkpoint 11 kilometres away from Calicut, our destination for today.
Where we hope we're going to sleep the night.
Where we hope we can get a room in a guest house, or at least a rug that we can sleep on. And we had a very interesting encounter with the 4 border guards that were operating a checkpoint. Perhaps you'd just like to run us through what happened when we were asked to pull up and come over?
Well, we stopped at the gate, which was very firmly shut, where there was a border guard, and we looked over to our right, and on this little sort of like cement pedestal, there seemed to be 2 soldiers reclining on their sleeping bags, drinking tea. We were invited over to join and invited to present our documents. One of the soldiers, the most senior one I reckon, could speak a little bit of English. He welcomed us and things like this. And then a rather strange incident happened. He took a liking to these sunglasses here, and he wanted to swap my sunglasses for his, which I declined. His were a little bit old, not very tatty, and I quite like mine. Then he proceeded to get his gun out and he took out the clip with the bullets in it.
The magazine.
The magazine. And handed me the gun and allowed me to hold it a bit and shoot it or whatever. So I did for a while without any bullets in it. Then I asked him what was in the funny vial that he had, and he told me that were drugs basically, and that he was taking them and it made me feel a little bit funny in the head. Then he took back the...
which he then took in front of us.
Yeah. Exactly. Then he took back the gun after I said I don't really want to swap my sunglasses or sell them. And then he proceeded to get the gun and pointed at his friend and mockingly kneecapped him basically. And then shoot it up in the sky and then pretended that he would shoot him and he would die. I think. Is that fair enough?
I think that's a very accurate portrayal of what just happened. Meanwhile, while he was passing Martin his gun and showing him his bullets and things like that, I was dealing with the captain who was lying next to him, reclining, who made a quick phone call to somebody else to, I think, check on our credentials. Had we registered somewhere else? They already noted that we had entered this area previously. They asked for our immigration papers, which said Ik Shaheen.
They were a bit shocked.
They were a bit surprised to see us coming back only 3 days after having crossed the border down here again. So we had to explain that in our best pidgin English Russian that we could, miming and dance. So it was all in all was quite a bizarre encounter, culturally enriching for both sides, I think. Although the guard with the drugs and the gun, a little bit disappointed he didn't get a new pair of sunglasses.
Yes.
Here's a bridge we're just going to go over. Metal bridge.
He was used to people saying no to him because he wanted to have them, swap them, buy them, swap them again for his gun. So a bit surprising when he kept on saying no, which, by the way, has been our policy to all of the police so far when asking for a bribe. Once it's very obvious that it's a bribe, it's resorted to no swap.
Yes.
So far seems to be working wonderfully for us.
We don't understand. We're sorry. Martin has today already picked up a speeding fine for doing 73 kilometres in a 60 kilometre zone, and
seatbelt fine.
We've had a no seatbelt fine, all of which we've avoided by just disagreeing with the policeman that we're not going to pay them a bribe or a fine. The only thing that we did have to pay was a can of
9% Cougar.
Jaguar,
same difference.
Jaguar, a can of lager or whatever, like some kind of Red Bull drink that somebody else was drinking, and we thought we'd get some and try it, only we haven't gotten it anymore because one of the policemen took it in lieu of a bribe. I did offer him 5 tomatoes, but he didn't want the tomatoes, he wanted the can of Jaguar. So note to self, buy more cans of Jaguar.
And also I'd like to note at the end of this is that we've been driving our Lada, exactly the same route that we drove in the 4x4 Land Cruisers, and relatively the same comfort, I would say.
Yep.
And we think we're doing roughly the same timing, albeit there were 4 Land Cruisers in convoy, and we did stop quite often.
And there were probably 18 people in total in that convoy.
Yeah, but we haven't stopped for lunch, I suppose, but we have stopped for non-bribing of police officers. So I think we're doing pretty well so far. We've got 4 days to get out of the country. I reckon we're about a quarter of the way along the highway, maybe more actually.
Maybe more, yeah.
So I think we might actually get out of Tajikistan on time.
Additionally, supplemental to Captain's log, we picked up 2 hitchhikers.
Oh yes.
One of which was a young man that we didn't know where he was going. He just
Got in.
yeah. While we were avoiding a bribe with some police officers, we accepted him as a passenger because we thought that might go down a little bit better. And then later on we got flagged down by a policeman. We thought, oh no, we're about to get hit for a bribe, and in actual fact he just wanted a lift home. We are pretty sure he was drunk.
Yeah, staggering.
And so we gave him a lift, and he got out at the same point as the other guy. So those are the 2 hitchhikers we've had. We thought it was brilliant tactic to have a police officer in our possession for avoiding other bribes.
So we think in future we should kidnap some police officers and bring them along for the ride.
Yes. Or offer them a lift, at least.
Yes.
This is a lovely... We're now at the valley floor after having traversed the 3,600 metre pass, which was incredibly scary. Yes. Imminent death on our right-hand side for about 3 hours.
Possibly, yes.
About 2 hours, 3 hours. Enormous 300 metre cliffs down to the valley floor, and now this is the valley floor. A lovely stream, quite fast flowing now.
I'm going to put my feet in there then, so they're very possible.
But we're going to try and get into the guest house that we stayed, the same one? I think
I'll
so.
be a bit surprised.
That we stayed at a couple of days ago. Maybe if anyone left anything behind, we might be able to pick it up for them. I don't think anyone left anything behind.
By the way, this road is amazing.
This is a great bit of tarmac.
Oh, just degenerating slightly, but...
Ended the tarmac. Now we're on to a quarry floor
Is that
again.
a bicycle? Yes.
Is it?
It's like a crashed bicycle. I was having...
Salam alaikum. No, he's washing his hands. Or he was having sex with a small boy. Okay.
Oh, do we dive in there?